Hi everyone, this is Candy Crush 46, but you can just call me Summer. And guys, I have an artist hot take. It is such a hot take that I am burning in hell as we speak. I think that people should stop naming their art styles. And I know, before you get your pitchforks out and burn me at the stake, let me explain, because it's way more logical than you think. What if I told you that you naming your art style is limiting, is not only limiting, but is also ruining your art growth as an artist? Let me explain. I think that it's only fair for humans to put ourselves in boxes. Look at fashion trends. It's so easy. It's so easy the way it's easy for fashion brands to relate to the younger generation, like girl core, emo core, tomato girl core. It's not for me to understand, but it is easy to put your stuff that you make in a category because it appeals to others. And it's no different for artists. When it comes to the online art community, making your art style as a brand is very common. Some of the best artists on YouTube, Instagram, and even TikTok do the same thing. Their art is instantly recognizable. But what if I tell you that your art being recognizable isn't the thing that you want? For example, jelly art. Jelly art is a subgenre of art that is kind of popularized by, I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I'm just not going to do it. Their name will be on the screen. Their art kind of focuses on faces, giving their artists a glowy, youthful look. And it's great. Their account blew up and a lot of people were taking inspiration from their art, so they decided to make a tutorial on how to make that art. And after that, people started following the tutorial and they got really defensive about it. Now, I am against art thieves and specifically tracers. But when you put up a tutorial for your art style, people are going to copy it. You can't technically own an art style. Now, you may be saying, well, I think that when people put their art into categories, it limits you, it chains you up. Well, now everyone who draws remotely similar to the jelly art style, quote unquote, they're now being recognized and labeled as jelly art style. Now, you may be saying, Summer, we've been naming art styles for years. And that's true. But I think that there's a difference from saying, oh, I have a semi-realistic art style, or oh, I have a, you know what I mean? It's oh, an anime style. It's different. Instead of labeling your art. It may be better for you if you want a following, but do you want to be known as the artist who has maybe a candy core art style? Or do you want people to recognize your art for yourself? I think that it puts on a lot, too much pressure for younger artists who want to get into the art world, because it tries to put you in a box. Because there's a lot of art styles, there's a lot of art styles that make more views than other. And it kind of discourages younger artists. We should be making art that makes us happy, not conform to an algorithm. And I know how it feels when you want your art accounts to work on a platform that is actively working against us. I'm talking about Instagram. But by labeling your art, you are entering a oversaturated market and already a saturated market. You are fighting with so many, the attention for so many people on Instagram, and just putting yourself in a box, you're fighting with not only the artists on Instagram, but now the artists in that little section, subgenre of art on Instagram. I say, don't do it. And it's genuinely sad to see younger artists stressing over what they call their art style, especially when the art styles change over time. No one has the same art style from beginning to end. Even pros don't. Naming your art style only puts unwarranted pressure on not only you, but your art. And that's sad. Now, before I end, I do think it's okay to take inspiration. I think inspiration is good, and like younger artists tend, and especially me as an artist now, I do tend to still take inspiration from like the art I love. But by putting yourself into a category like jelly art or like cream soda art, you're kind of like forcing an art style on yourself that may not even stay, because you may get bored with it, you may get discouraged. It is important to not follow art trends, I think, especially if you really want to like, you know, get ahead in the art world. It is important, I'm going off script here, but it is important to just like do things naturally. Just trust yourself when you're making your art, and just keep creating. And this is like a message to younger artists. Your art style will come eventually. You just need to give it time, let it marinate, let it soak in the sauce, and just keep working on it. And like, you know, once you get in the hang of things, people recognize your art regardless. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe. Bye bye.